Hello and welcome to Modern Sages. This video is a clip taken from our podcast. If you want to learn more or listen to the podcast even further, click the show notes below and that will link you to the direct podcast that you are listening to. It's kind of hard to see, and my drawing isn't that great. Soaks up water to dry out and create new channels and ways of being. So chamomile is a beautiful herb. And of course, I found that to be very fitting for the East, with the mind and soothing the way of the mind. I was blown away. Just shocked about all of this. The next one I wanted to share is raspberry leaf. And I absolutely love all things raspberry leaf. So good. And actually, while I was being introduced to the essence of raspberry leaf, the song Take It Slow by Ayla was on, and it's all about relaxing, being still, slowing your mind. Let me see if I can pull up some of the words as we're here discovering this. Okay, so here are the words to some of it. Take it slow. And don't get in your way. Keep it moving. At the pace of every weather, look within. Don't forget you are surrounded by the wind as it rushes in your lungs. Oh, honey, you are born of the moon. Precious cave, don't forget there is unknown inside of you. Don't turn away from yourself by being like somebody else. You are the tide crashing over and the call of the mountains of your darkest tunnels are where your light comes from. And so as I was coming into this space, such beautiful words, but this was playing out while the raspberry was showing up for me. And it was the perfect blend of generational healing and generational acknowledgement with the beautiful aspect of the herb. So raspberry is commonly known to be the woman's herb. It's there to help support hormones. A lot of people will take it when they're trying to get pregnant or preparation, as well as when they're getting ready to be induced. A lot of different people will suggest to take nettle actually with red raspberry leaf as a way to help clear the body. So let me read here what I have written. Red raspberry has many medical properties. Some of the most common benefits are hormone balance, aids in constipation, soothes cold and flu symptoms, and is loaded with nutrients. Raspberry leaf is known as a woman's herb. It has been researched for years and demonstrated some potential health benefits when it comes to women's health. The herbal tea is made from the raspberry plant known as botanical name Rubus idaeus. I don't think I said that right, but that's all right. Some of the benefits: it's packed with nutrients, antioxidant properties. It may reduce menstrual cramps. It helps to shorten labor along with this gestational upset. So it's good for all of the things. All of the beautiful things. And to me, it tastes amazing. So pulling back into the essence of what this herb had to offer, is it felt like I was seeing it was an extension of the divine womb of the earth. And so when someone buys a raspberry or when you receive a raspberry start, typically you get it from someone who has it already in their garden. And then you want to like section it off to have it be in its own place, or it will take over. It will take over everything. And so it's almost like a lot of people will put it away from all the other herbs because they know how potent raspberry leaf will actually just like take over everything. And it was so interesting because to me, that was very symbolic of generational healing, wounding, and trauma. That as we are open to being aware of our own trauma or what the generations before us experienced, when we can see that that's part of the journey and not make it wrong, but also trust also trust that it's part of it, right? It's like you can see how either it can take over and it can be overwhelming and feel like almost soul crushing at times, or it can be something so beautiful and something so profound where we can be aware of it, have it in its own section, go and visit it, receive the blessings and the goodness. Sometimes you have to trim things down, get rid of some of the plant to make more space for more. But how true was that with generational connection? A lot of times if we're not aware of it, it can actually hinder us from being able to be here and live the most passionate part of our own life. But sometimes we do have to also take care of those things, look at those things, pull back, tear some of it out to create space for new. So it was just so many of those things were showing up, but then also just like seeing the leaf in the raspberry and how when you pick the raspberry, it's so fulfilling and how it's that deep red, that color of blood, that womb energy. And it was like I could see how this raspberry leaf was an extension of the divine womb of the earth, helping with the flow. And it's like as you take those raspberries and you eat them, there's going to be more coming. There's more abundance, there's more fertility in raspberry leaves. They just keep coming and they just keep coming back and they just keep growing. And when we can have a beautiful perspective of that with our generations, we can call upon that beautiful energy to hold true to us in an even more beautiful and deeper way. Sparks joy and wonder, ovaries, abundant growth. Oh, yeah. And even like if you think about on the tree branches, like the raspberries being like the ovaries and it being part of this beauty of the cycle of a woman and the body and what you go through, because it does also help heal the womb. It helps prepare, it helps, clear out the lining so that you can have a quicker birth, more natural. It's there to help you in that essence. But also, like, think about this, right? As we are connected to our ancestors, the same body, it's like you're conceived and you grow in this, you grow in your mother, or you grow in some, like, just the whole process of birth and fertility is so beautiful, and how it's linked generations and like we're linked completely. And it's like part of who I am is them. And it's this continuation. And so there is sometimes a lot of trauma, a lot of heaviness with birth. Really, there's a lot of sadness and difficulty and a lack of women empowerment when it comes to birth as well. And so it's almost like as we use raspberry leaf to clear the womb, to help heal any of our hormones, to also call upon our ancestors who also have experienced that, whether good or bad. It's like when we can have red raspberry in our system, in our space, we're able to bring that in and cultivate to heal the womb. And it's the womb of Mother Earth. It's the womb of all the women who came before you and those who were yet to come. That's how powerful it is. And it's all part of it. It's part of this healing, beautiful property. Bridge, honor your soul beauty. Brings and provides life, bloodline, berries, healing, generational connections, beautiful gifts and connections spread and cause to chaos or in support of all around, what we talked about. So these are just a few. And of course, as we're diving into a call from the ancestors, I feel like the red raspberry is an ancient tradition. It's one that's there to help us to not only heal within ourselves, but to heal the generations. And in honor of that, I have a big bag of raspberry leaf. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this podcast has piqued your interest, we would definitely recommend you to finish the podcast by clicking the link below. We would also love to invite you to subscribe and to like to our YouTube channel, along with joining our Modern Sages Soul Tribe. This is a tribe of women helping to embrace the medicine within. In this tribe, we will be doing moon gatherings, having classes, and a lot of free content, spiritual gift giveaways, and so much more.
If this calls to you, click the link below and join the Modern Sages Soul Tribe. Blessings.